Hey guys, happy Thursday and welcome to the Fox 5 Live Zone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Coming up on the show today, it's official. It's done. Yes, the government shutdown now over. But what happens now? Well, it's back to business as usual, and in this case, the focus turns to Jeffrey Epstein. I'll explain. She's one of the most talented athletes on the planet, or at least was. I'm referring to Althea Gibson. Now the U.S. Mint recognizing her unlike any other. And what if I told you, my friends, yes, you could get paid to watch your favorite holiday movie? Sounds good to me. Sign me up. We'll chat about it right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. In the meantime, how about we pay to see this guy? Tucker Barnes joining us weather-wise.
I'm only here because I don't want to get fined.
Oh. Okay.
Who said that? Do you remember that famous line?
No. Who?
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I mean, he's a cameraman now or something like that.
He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he seems like he's living his best life.
Yeah, all right. Well, hurry up so I don't
He
get
went to
fined.
my college. We don't,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't send too many guys to the pros, so we're proud of him.
Same time? You all were there at the same time?
No, he's like still a child compared to me. Let me do the weather.
You got it.
There aren't too many people left from my school year. Okay, beautiful morning and a beautiful afternoon. 55 in Washington. A little breezy though. Guy, winds west-northwest 22. And it'll be a little breezy this afternoon. But if you notice, the sunshine's glimmering off of Potomac there.
Looks beautiful. Look at
right?
that.
You know what I saw a story about earlier today?
What's that?
The world's largest great white shark was just spotted off Atlantic City.
What?
Yeah, this dude weighs like 1,500 pounds. He's a big boy.
I think we need a bigger boat. You know where that comes from?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah, Jaws celebration
There
from
you
the
go.
summer.
We can do this all
You're not
day.
going to slip any of the old stuff past me. Now, ask me about Taylor Swift's album and,
We'll save that for
I'm at
Annie
a
Mae.
loss. All I know is all 14 of them sound the same. That's to me. Okay, I know. Yeah. Some people my age are really into them. Steve Shenevy, not focused on you.
Oh, gosh.
Anyways, beautiful afternoon, cool and breezy. Tomorrow's all good because it says it right there, and then we'll get clouds on Saturday. Cloudy Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, a few showers. Won't be a rain out. It's a warm front, and our warmest day of the week will be Sunday afternoon, 65. After we watch, I'll be watching on TV. I'm not going to the game, but the Commanders beat Miami.
Yeah. All right. Turn the Dolphins into tuna fish. Absolutely love it. Tucker Barnes, all things weather.
You know who
right
else
here.
would like that tuna?
Who's that?
That great white. I tied it all in.
He's here all
See if
day,
your next
ladies and
guest can do
gentlemen.
that. Goodbye.
Hey guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you download the Fox Local app and take that forecast with you on the go. It's official. After 43 days, the longest federal government shutdown in history is now over. Not only are government agencies reopening, the FAA is freezing flight reductions that have created chaos at the nation's airports. Flights were cut at dozens of busy hubs due to staffing shortages as air traffic controllers had to work without pay, and many opted to call in sick. More cuts, by the way, were planned until President Trump signed off on ending the shutdown late last night. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Miss Marley Hornick. She's the CEO of Real America Vote and kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Miss Hornick, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
Well, I got to tell you, there are a lot of folks smiling from ear to ear right now. Well, depending on what side of the coin you happen to be on with regard to the government now reopening. It took, as you heard me make mention, 43 days. The Democrats not necessarily walking away with everything that they wanted. Your thoughts on what happened and what you foresee to come?
Well, I think the Senate Democrats really lost this one. Honestly, it's not just the federal workers who lost money. It's the American people. The reason the federal government has airports and air traffic controllers and runs these operations on behalf of the country is to keep the American economy rolling, to keep that engine humming. And can you even contemplate how many business meetings were delayed, how many contracts didn't get signed because the Senate Democrats chose to keep the government shut? So this is a huge win for the administration. There's no other way to really put it.
Yeah, but wait, there's more. We know that the government now open until January 30th when, yet again, it's back to the drawing board and perhaps we could experience, dare I say, yet another government shutdown. Do you think that's likely to happen?
I really hope it doesn't. I think that it's possible that there are enough Democrats now in the Senate who realize that this is coming down to, are we going to enforce the property rights and the liberty rights of Americans that our country is founded on? And I think they're starting to lose the cohesion to fight what is really the right path in history.
All right, let's move on to SNAP benefits and or the lack thereof. We know that a federal judge says the Trump administration cannot force states to undo their delivery of SNAP benefits. As many of you know, states began dispersing the food benefits this past weekend after a district judge ordered that the Trump administration will use emergency funds to make the payments which had been discontinued during the shutdown. Marley, I got to tell you, there's been a lot of back and forth with regard to the Trump administration and a number of federal judges all surrounding the SNAP program. Your thoughts?
Well, it seems like the federal judges, again, are trying to appropriate more power and authority than they have in these matters. The American people elected an executive, and the executive has the duty to fulfill the legal requirements of the Constitution and the laws. So I'm not really sure where the judges are coming from trying to order him to change policy that the American people support. Now, I think it's obvious that Americans are very gracious and generous people. We want to help those who are truly down and out. Those are truly in need. I do think it's concerning that the DOJ has come out and charged people with criminally abusing the SNAP system. They've actually found thousands of people in this interim period who have been abusing programs, which is not economy. It's not good for the American people. And, it's really important that in this time period, we work to resolve those kinds of issues in the system so that it is fair and it helps the people who really need it the most.
Well, speaking of need it the most, a lot of Americans are saying they need the Epstein files the most, depending yet again on who you ask. We know the White House reacting to emails from the late Jeffrey Epstein that mentioned President Trump. Yesterday, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about an Epstein email that said Trump spent hours at Epstein's home with a female victim. She would not address the email's substance or reports that the White House officials pressured Republicans to stop an effort to release more Epstein emails. I'm curious, Ms. Hornick, where do you stand on this?
Well, I think that so-called victim of President Trump is a well-known victim of Jeffrey Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, who now is with her creator. Rest in peace, Virginia. She clearly has stated in multiple public assertions that she never saw President Trump do anything improper, never experienced it herself, and she actually looked at him as a gentleman. There's other emails coming out that are showing that Democratic operatives were advising Jeffrey Epstein on how to deal with Trump, how to throw President Trump under a bus in order to rescue Epstein's own reputation, which, let's face it, it's beyond rescue. The man was a crook.
All right. Well, Ms. Hornick, you've been kind enough to join us yet again. You are the CEO of Real America Vote. The platform is yours. Folks that want to find out more information about the organization, what would you like to say?
Well, please visit us at realamerica.vote and on X at realamerica.vote. We are working every day to secure legitimate representative government for the American people. We use the courts. We do forensic research. Great effort by a lot of beautiful Americans. So come and check us out.
Yet again, Ms. Marley Hornick, CEO of realamerica.vote. Truly appreciate you joining us on the Live Zone.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. So it's no secret the NFL heading overseas for the final time this season. What does that mean? Well, it means the Commanders are going to take on the Miami Dolphins this Sunday at 9:30 in Madrid, Spain. It will be the first NFL regular season game ever played in Spain, which means the energy will be high. And if we're talking energy, we're talking this guy, Chad Ricardo, joining us live from Madrid. What's going on, my man? Good to see you.
Oh, man, Guy Lambert, you want to talk about dreams coming true. This is the opportunity to cover the NFL, to cover the burgundy and gold in another country in Madrid, Spain. What a beautiful location that it is. Despite the rain, we can see the sun creating that silver lining, my brother.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Chad, kudos going out to you. I know you have been traveling for, I guess, the last 24 hours. So thank you for taking time out to join us. I know you're working. You can barely keep your eyes open right now, but we truly appreciate it. And so with that being said, how was the flight? It's somewhat 8 hours just to get from point A to point B. And did you see a lot of fans on the plane?
You know what, Guy, I don't know if you want me to be honest with you or whether you want for me to say the things that the people at home like to hear. But that flight, brother, it was well worth it, but boy, was it a labor of love. You're talking about an hour and a half from D.C. to Charlotte, a 3-hour layover, then 8 hours in the air in the middle of the night to get here to Madrid. And you know what, Guy? We didn't go to sleep. We went straight to work. That is the type of effort and energy that we are putting forth for our DMV fan base. And your show is viewed all across the nation on Fox Local. So for everybody who cares about the burgundy and gold, we're bringing this to you. Sleep, no sleep. Who needs it?
Well, I can tell you one thing. The fans want a W, and it's no secret, Chad. It's not been a great year for the Commanders. But yet again, fans are traveling in droves to Madrid, and they're really eager to cheer on the Commanders, are they not?
That's right, and that's one of the great things about that long trip, that long flight. I mean, we saw, obviously, washed Commanders fans in D.C. when we left from IAD, Dulles, and then when we got to Charlotte, we saw even more washed Commanders fans as there was a plane from Dulles and a plane from Reagan who came together. When we got on that plane, boarding and heading out to Madrid, Guy Lambert, it was the biggest plane that I've ever been on, and it was completely decked out by those who love the burgundy and gold. So despite the 3-7 record, despite the 5 consecutive losses, despite no Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin, you have seen individuals from our community coming out to support this team because they love them, win, lose, or draw. But make no mistake about it, they are looking for a W.
Yeah, and let's also keep it real, Chad. Is it hard to get that W, and what do I mean by that? Well, we know that the Miami Dolphins blew out of all teams, the Buffalo Bills last week, 30 to, what was the score? 13, the final score? So although we expected the Dolphins, and some would call them the tuna fish, to be just that tuna fish, well, they might be coming in like a shark, quite honestly. What say you?
That's right. This Miami Dolphins team, I mean, this is a squad that people have been down on all season long, and sometimes for good reason. That defense has been about as strong as wet toilet tissue. Tua Tagovailoa has played bad at some points in time throughout the season as well. But what we must keep in mind is that this offense can put up points, bro. They've got weapons over there on the offensive side of the ball, and the Commanders' defense, we know, has been struggling, especially as of late. We'll see whether Dan Quinn taking over the play calling on that defensive side of the ball can be something that shores it up. But for anybody who expects for Washington to go out here and just roll over Miami, you don't know how talented this Dolphins team is. It's going to take everything that the Commanders have, especially playing with so many players out and others injured, to be able to walk away with a victory on Sunday here in Madrid.
Yeah, perhaps you know this, Chad, but I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers don't. But the Commanders have only played one game overseas in franchise history. They played the Bengals back in 2016. It ended in a tie, Chad. We don't want a tie come Sunday. We want a big W, a victory, if you will.
You know what we do? We want a W the size of that W on the Commanders' helmets. But I tell you what, we'll take a tie over a 7th straight loss, guy. We'll take a tie over a 6th straight loss. We'll take that. But yes, the Washington Commanders, and I do want to say this. We were speaking with Zach Ertz. We were speaking with Mikey Samer still here today. And to a man, what they said was that coming over here and playing, getting away from the States and being able to bond with their teammates has truly been a special situation. It has allowed for them to get close to one another in a way that they otherwise wouldn't have. Mikey Samerson said in detail that typically after practice, these men obviously go home to their families. They spend time with their families. They eat dinners with their families. Well, this week they've been together. And he said that bond and that recommitment to team, that recommitment to each other is something that could help them on Sunday. But Zach Ertz said it best, and I just posted this on Instagram. He said, look, coming over here is fun. It is outstanding to play in Madrid. But at the end of the day, Guy Lambert, we're looking for a win.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what the fans are also looking for, Chad. Outside of watching the Commanders play, they want to see one thing and one thing only, and that's you and what you're wearing. And so take a look at this, Chad. So this was recent, obviously, on Loud AF. So the question is, Chad, right, what are you going to break out come Sunday? Can you give us a preview of the outfit?
You know what, Guy? I can't give you a preview of the outfit, brother. If I gave you a preview of the outfit, who would be surprised by that? You know what I'm saying? A portion of it is shock and awe, Guy Lambert. Shock and awe. Who knows what I might have on? Who knows what I might have on tomorrow, brother? You never know what I might pull out of the closet, especially out here in Madrid.
By the way, the favorite drink of choice out there in Spain happens to be a sangria. And so at some point, Chad, I expect to see that in your hand as you do all things tailgating prior to the game.
Let me tell you what. You know what, Guy? I want you to walk with me. I need you to walk with me right now because you're in this hotel. Look, I can't make this stuff up. I arrived here in the hotel. Mind you, it was 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I arrived. I came over here getting what I thought was water, Guy Lambert. I poured me a glass of what I thought was water right here. I drank it. I said, man, that is really good. I looked a little closer, Guy. It's because this is wine. It is wine. They were serving wine with breakfast this morning. That's one thing that you won't see in Stateside. You'll get that here in Madrid, my brother.
Hey, Chad, real quick, take a sip for me, by the way. Before we let you go, we were following breaking news before we hopped on with him. I'm going to bring in producer Joey with the latest on that.
Hey, Chad, how you doing? I hope you enjoyed breakfast. Joey. All right, so HKS, the global design firm, we just learned has been chosen to be the architects of the new RFK site. They've also done SoFi, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and AT&T Jerry World. So what can we expect from this firm?
I mean, when you look at especially, SoFi is phenomenal. Obviously, Jerry World is a spectacle, the 19th world wonder of men. Forgive me, I haven't slept in a long time. I can't think of exactly. The 8th wonder of the world. Who knows? All right. But that stadium in Minnesota is arguably the most beautiful, the best stadium in all of professional sports. So when you've got the architects that are coming in that put that stadium in particular in order, not only the way that it looks, but also the volume that it's able to get up into, which can negatively impact the opposing teams coming out here, I believe that the new RFK site is going to be in extraordinarily good hands. Joey Bark, I know that you are a fan of the burgundy and gold your whole entire life. Can you imagine cheering on this team, cheering on Jaden Daniels in a stadium that looks like SoFi, that sounds like Minnesota, that has
I'd even take Allegiant. Allegiant Stadium, I'd take that.
Well, one thing's for sure, we'll take Chad Ricardo anytime we can get him, specifically when he's in Madrid, Spain. Man, we truly appreciate this. Get some rest, my friend, and you probably make it a lot easier if you take a couple of more sips of that wine. Chad Ricardo joining us live from Madrid, Spain. Of course, he'll have continuous coverage right here on Fox 5 as we lead up to the game that takes place on Sunday at 9:30. We appreciate you, my man. Thanks, Joey.
Thank you, brother.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
United States Military Academy at West Point.
Families, you now have 90 seconds. Say goodbye to your candidate.
Welcome to the West Point at Barbershop.
Thank you.
Are you doing any sports here?
Yeah, I play rugby, man.
West Point tracks warriors.
Let's go! Get off my butt!
They are the kind of person that is giving a 5-year commitment after graduation.
How cool is that? That's the trailer from the powerful new documentary, Brothers on 3, a moving inside look at the United States Military Academy's rugby team and how they build bonds on the field and how it mirrors the strength, loss, loyalty found in the military service. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Brian Anthony. He is the writer, executive producer, and co-creator. He joins us right here on the LZ. Good to see you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Guy. Thanks for having me.
I got to tell you, this is absolutely all things cool. I am such a fan of this. I got a chance to watch the trailer not once, but I believe 3 times. And every time I saw something a little different. For folks that are hearing about this for the first time, they just got a chance to check out the trailer. The overall goal, what is it that you are trying to get across?
Well, I think the overall goals that we want to get across is that we want everyone that sees this film to want to be an Army rugby player. That's the number one goal. And the second goal is to subvert any tropes anyone might have. You know, somebody might say to the layperson, what is an Army rugby player? And they might think this is a warmongering meathead. And I think if you watch the film, you'll find that's not the case. I think you're going to come away from this film realizing it's a love story. It's about camaraderie and brotherhood. And I hope you are as proud as I am as the people that serve in our military.
Yeah, yet again, just so cool. I'm curious, Brian, the process of making this film. I mean, because I can only imagine, first of all, getting the opportunity to attend a rugby game, but you go behind the scenes. You follow these guys for quite some time.
Yeah, we did. We got permission from the Department of Defense. We got permission from West Point, from their public affairs team. They were all incredibly supportive. We got to go into the classrooms, see them not just as rugby players, but as future leaders of America, as soldiers, see their struggles academically, physically, with injuries and health, and as they face adversity, throughout the season. And all those things come to bear when they become military officers. So yeah, it was a long process, but well worth it.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about this film is that it really captures what leadership looks like when no one's watching. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about all things accountability, kind of like the kind of brother and sisterhood that we always hear about that happens within the military. And it really transcends sports, does it not?
Yes, I believe that's right. I think it does. And the team, since I was on it, and our director, Sean Mullen, we were both on the team in the late 90s. They've kind of refined what you're talking about into their core philosophy. And it's trust, commitment, and love. Those are kind of the 3 words that the entire program is built on, the team, and they're able to carry that core philosophy out into the Army as officers, and I think it really helps the leadership element.
Yeah. What are the folks saying, Brian? You know, it's always about the proof is in the pudding, and it's what the people are saying about it. Have you had a reaction thus far?
Yeah, we've had a lot of response. I was fortunate enough to attend our premieres out here on the West Coast and downtown LA, in Pasadena and San Diego. And I think really what is striking people is like they come for a rugby story. And I think that's how they walk into the theaters, and they're walking out realizing this is really a story about love. Love for each other, love for your country, love for something that's about more than yourself.
Yeah. Yet again, I am so excited to watch this. It's entitled Brothers on 3. Brian, I know you made mention it's in theaters. Can I see it here on the East Coast as well?
You absolutely can. We are in the middle of our two-week theatrical run that we're doing in cooperation with Regal Cinema and Military Movies. For your audience in particular in Washington, D.C., it's playing at the Regal Gallery Place. And in Baltimore, Maryland, it's playing at the Regal Laurel Town Center. And on the December 11th and December 12th showings at 7 p.m., you'll be joined by the director and my co-creator, Sean Mullen. He'll be there for a Q&A, so if anyone has any other questions or comments they want to make, please, we welcome you to come out, see the film, and share it.
Yeah, I frequent the Gallery Place, Chinatown location that you made mention of a lot. So it's a great theater. So I can't wait to go. Matter of fact, I think I could do that this weekend. So I'm really excited to check it out. Yet again, it's entitled Brothers on 3. It is all things with a moving inside look at the United States Military Academy's rugby team and how bonds are built. We've been speaking with Mr. Brian Anthony. He is the writer, executive producer, and co-creator joining us on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate your time, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. See it in theater, see it more than once. Thank you for your support.
You got it. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. So, did you hear? Well, extra, read all about it. In this case, watch all about it. The American Women Quarters is honoring a diverse group of notable American women who made significant contributions in a variety of fields, including civil rights, government, humanities, science, space, and the arts. The women honored are from racially and geographically diverse backgrounds, one of which happens to be none other than Althea Gibson, a trailblazing multi-sport athlete who accomplished an impressive list of firsts throughout her athletic career in tennis and professional golf. By the way, at the end of the 1950s, Gibson won, count 'em, 11 Grand Slam titles, including multiple championships at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the French Open. Now we celebrate her unlike any other. You're looking at it right there on your TV screen, making reference to none other than, well, the reverse of the quarter, if you will, that portrays Althea Gibson with a racket in one hand and a ball in the other while standing confidently by a net on a tennis court. Joining us to discuss this and so much more, and I'm so excited about this, is Michelle Tatum Curry, administrator, the estate of Althea Gibson, founder, Althea Gibson Sports and Education Foundation. That's a mouthful, but boy, we're glad you're here.
And I'm so happy to be here to represent for Althea.
This is just truly amazing. You know, when you think of athletes and you think of the Mount Rushmore, if you will, hands down, she's on it.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, winning 11 Grand Slams is huge, you know, for anyone. But to win them in 2.5 years.
Wow.
Now, we all know Serena Williams is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Serena Williams won 11 Grand Slams in a little bit more than 10 years. Okay, Althea did it in 2.5.
So hence put some respect on her name.
So, you know, just as all of those who have followed through that open door in tennis and golf and all of the doors she opened, that respect Althea and know she was first. And that's what Althea would love.
To think that she broke so many barriers is just hard for me to fathom. You just reflect back to all she did.
She's the queen of the pivot.
Wow.
Okay? Tennis, golf, entertainment. She was in a movie with John Wayne. She released an album of jazz standards. She was on Ed Sullivan twice to perform. I mean, she ran for Senate in New Jersey in 1977. She was huge on education, huge on health equity, huge on community service, and one of the one of the most competitive people ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. To think that, first of all, it's such an honor to have you here. But I would assume for you, it's an honor to be able to carry her torch of knowledge.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, this torch was given to me by my aunt, Frances Clayton Gray, who took care of Althea in her later years and originally founded the first foundation in Althea's name. And so I'm actually carrying two legacies on my shoulder. And, you know, I have a team, an amazing team that works with me. And we all just want to make Althea proud.
Yeah.
That's all we want to do, is we want people to see her, to understand her impact, and know that she was human above all. And she
You sure about that?
Yeah, she put her best foot forward. But I will say this, you know, as we all know, she played tennis.
Sure.
Obviously, awesomely. But it was one of the sports she played least best.
Wow.
Okay, so she was one of those that was in that line, that athletic line. Basketball, bowling. She just did it. Golf, obviously. And she was just one of those people. We don't see them many, you know, we don't see them all the time.
Yeah.
And she was a really, really special lady. And to this day, I still learn things about her and I go, wait, what? That too? Wow, just an awesome, awesome person, and one I aspire to be.
Yeah.
I just want to be Althea Fierce. That's all I want to do.
Well, perhaps you could share just a brief nugget, if you will. You said you learned so much about it, something perhaps that would catch us all off guard.
You know, Althea was a big family person, but she was very quiet about it. So going through her items, I found that she actually hand wrote the astrological sign charts
Get
for
outta
all
here.
her immediate family.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. It's the things you find out, you know, and you go, she really is my spirit animal.
Well, she's not only your spirit animal, but she's truly a hero for so many. When you got the call, I just can only imagine. And I say this because so many times I'll interview artists, and the first time you heard your song on the radio, and they just they get really giddy.
Yeah.
When you got that call to find out that this was happening, do tell.
When I tell you, you know, Don Felder, who is Althea's cousin, we work very closely together. Her sister Lillian, you know, which is her sibling, her baby sibling. This is it's been such an amazing year for Althea. This is the 75th year since she broke the color barrier in tennis. And to be featured as the theme of the U.S. Open, to be on the U.S. quarter, is absolutely, it's mind-boggling. It is, as I would say, Althea, who I've always thought of as a little reserved. I've always said she's had this quiet, regal dignity that you see. She would have been joyously overwhelmed.
Yeah, God, this is just so amazing. And by the way, you come bearing gifts. I want folks to see this. I'm going to bring it up, pull it up to the TV screen here. Producer Joey, take a look at this. You see right there. You see the quarter to right there, kind of. Yep. How cool is that? And so, explain exactly what this is for the viewers at home.
Absolutely. So, this is actually a collection card that the U.S. Mint provides, so that you could actually collect all of the quarters from the American Women's Quarter Series. So, it began in 2022. Maya Angelou opened the quarter series, and Althea will be closing it. So this is the end of the quarter series. It ran from 22 through 25. And what I find is an alignment is that her quarter was actually supposed to come out last year. And I went, if it could have just come out in 2025 for the anniversary. and look what happened.
Yeah.
It came out in 2025. But Don Felder worked endlessly, tirelessly. I mean, I think there were days where he just kept submitting Althea's name like every 15, 20 minutes.
As he should.
As he should. And when he got the call from the U.S. Mint to let him know that Althea was going to be the quarter, he called me, and 10 minutes I couldn't understand what he was saying because he was just screaming. And I just cried. I've spent most of this year crying.
Wow.
So
that is just so
and it's
awesome.
Tears of joy, absolute tears of joy. But this right here is nothing that I could have ever imagined. And I know right now Althea is she's beaming.
Well, we're just getting the party started because there is a celebration upon us, so all things surrounding her. Do tell.
Absolutely. So this evening at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center, which is run by, of course, the Eternal First Lady, Miss Cora Masters-Barry, we will be honoring the distribution of this quarter. And I have to say, it was originally supposed to be in the Smithsonian things happen.
Sure.
The Smithsonian wasn't able to do it because of how the government shut down. But Miss Cora Berry stepped in, at last minute, and has been phenomenal. And the spirit of Althea is just everywhere. It's all over her center. It's in her. What she does every day for the kids here in DC is phenomenal. From what I understand, 75,000 participants, youth, have gone through her organization. That is absolutely amazing. Again, Althea would be so proud.
Yeah. Yet again, she is truly on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Althea Gibson. We remember her, we honor her, and we salute her. And salute you as well.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate this. I can't believe you actually gave this to me. It's better than Christmas, which is on the way, I'm telling you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone on a Feel Good Thursday. Annie Mae back in the LZ. Hello.
Hello there. I'm so excited to talk about all things that are occurring in our environment these days.
Yeah, it happens to be a lot. Well, these are some of the stories you, my friends, are discussing at home. You a big fan of holiday movies, Annie Mae?
I'm a huge fan of holiday. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, A Christmas Story.
Valid. Very valid.
Really?
I'm going to have to go with Grinch, the original, like, Jim Carrey, true human Grinch.
Not the Dr. Seuss one?
No, I like the Dr. Seuss one, but
Okay.
I like the Jim Carrey one better.
Oh, wow, that's surprising.
Or like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, gotta love that.
I
Then,
love
well,
the little cartoons.
In that case, you got to add Frosty the Snowman. I mean, we could just
That
go
too.
on
You know,
and on.
I don't think I can pick a favorite. Never mind.
Well, if you enjoy holiday movies, you can now get paid to watch them. Online platform Cable TV is hiring one lucky person to become the Chief of Cheer. You have to watch, count them, not 1, not 2, not 10, but 25 holiday movies in 25 days to earn a total of $2,500. Cable TV has also vowed to donate $2,500 to the Lucky Winners charity of choice. By the way, you can apply for the gig up until December 3rd. Is that up your alley?
I want to be the Chief of Cheer. I already am the Chief of Cheer. I watch so many Christmas movies over the course of all that is December up until the night of Christmas. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Really?
I feel like it gets me in the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
I usually watch a show at night anyway, so then I just swap it in the month of December for like a Christmas movie or like a Halloween movie leading up to, Halloween. Just kind of feel good moment vibes that I'm always going for.
You know what I've been doing lately? Well, not lately, but I'll do once when it comes to Christmas season, if you will, and that is watch a Hallmark movie.
Yes,
I turn to the Hallmark channel. It's the corniest thing, but it's so good.
It's so good. You know, Marissa and I were having this conversation earlier that like Hallmark knows what they are and they go for it, and I respect that.
I respect it too.
I respect that they love a corny little love movie, Christmas movie, and I watch it every time, and I love it.
I can guarantee you, I lost a lot of respect for saying that. Some of the viewers watching,
Hallmark movies. If you guys don't, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Producer Joey with our second story. What you got, my man?
All right, here's something that has been going absolutely mega super viral. I want to show you this song.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking.
I fooled you all. That was AI. A new survey reveals almost nobody can detect when a song is artificial intelligence. A survey of 9,000 people from 8 different countries found 97% of listeners could not tell the difference between a human-composed country song and what I just showed you.
Really?
Most of the respondents also say they want labels on AI-generated tracks. It comes after a few bands like that one, and an artist we talked about last week went viral. What do you guys think about maybe labeling these?
Oh, I 100% think you have to label it. If you have to label it on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok, you should absolutely have to label it. That being said, is the song a banger? Yes. That being said, should it be allowed to be released to the general public? I don't know. It's just something that always rubs me the wrong way about AI and about it like taking the natural human component away from things.
Yeah, you're right. That was a banger. You're right. That was really good.
Banger.
For me, I guess now the focus would have to be more on the lyrics, because I would assume there's a human still writing the song, or perhaps I'm wrong about that. And you're not just hearing, it's just the AI voice. And so finally, how about we focus on the lyrics? Because nowadays that's not the case.
I mean, I was thinking that too, right? Where it could take like the pressure or a little bit of the workload off of your average person, right? Like, hey, what are some, words that rhyme with this? And that would be a good thing that you could put into ChatGPT or something like that, right? If you're a writer. I'm not a huge fan of having it write it for you. It gets rid of a writing job. I'm not a fan of having it sing for you. It gets rid of a singing job. Like, I don't like when it gets rid of jobs. I think that, to be completely honest, laws should be put in place.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of you being able to be helped out in a sense by it and lightening your workload, right? If you're doing 5 jobs at once, it can take job number 6 off your plate and you can just do the other, you know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon, I mean, you and I got to watch out. Someone's going to be doing traffic and someone's going to be hosting the live zone.
Hey, Guy, all I got to say is anything that comes out of my mouth cannot be replicated by AI. And so my job
I will fight any robot that comes for your job, Guy. They have to go through producer Joey.
And to your point, you're right. There's only one Annie Mae.
There is, and you have no clue what's going to come out of my mouth.
Oh, gosh. Let's wrap up with this. The U.S. Mint has pressed its final penny, ending more than 2 centuries of production. Wow, I didn't know that. President Trump ordered the phase out in February, arguing the coin costs 4 times more to make than what it's worth. Oh, we got to say bye-bye to the penny.
Toodles. Bye. I don't use you. The thing about this story that makes me laugh is the irony of it all.
Yeah.
The irony of it all, that it costs 4 cents to make a penny. Whose doing is that? Yours. It is your doing. So I just kind of sit here and I'm like, okay, the irony of it all. That aside, who uses pennies anymore?
Yeah.
I'll ask you this. I'll phrase it this way, Guy. When you go to the store and you pay for something that's $1.81, and you give them $2 and you have all this change back, what are you doing when they give you all of this
That little
change?
jar that's right there, what do I do?
You put it in
Dump
there.
it right there in a
And
little
with
jar.
that, I rest my case. We do not need to continue to make a penny, especially if it's having us lose money doing so. This also doesn't mean that there are no pennies anywhere. They're taking away all the pennies and they're hoarding them somewhere. It just means they're going to stop making them. So over the course of, your kid's lifetime, then your kid's lifetime, they'll probably not see as many pennies as we will on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I just remember as a kid, it was such a big deal. We had those water coolers, or, where
Yes,
the
jugs.
jugs. We would
The
fill
blue
them up
jug.
with pennies, and then I don't know, every 2 years on a Saturday, my sister and I, we would just sit there and then roll up all the pennies and kind of let's put up that 50-cent penny thing right there, then
Yeah.
Joey. It looks like that for those of you who don't know. You see,
Yeah.
right there, and it was just such the coolest thing. It would take forever, but it was kind of like family bonding time.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're done with it, you got like $20.
Yeah, but I do like that, right? And I think if you work hard at collecting all of this change, you can eventually make it into $20.
Yeah.
But the one question I feel like I have is why?
Yeah.
Why?
Sure.
How much did an ice cream scoop cost when you were doing this?
Ah.
Not what it costs now.
Thoughts
Why?
by Annie Mae.
Why?
That's what you call a penny for your thoughts.
Penny for your thoughts.
Annie Mae joining us with our Thursday Talkers, producer Joey, with the side dish. Oh, God, I'm going to get out of here. Bye.
Bye.
We'll be right back.
Toodles.
All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Got a question for you. What does it take to really build success from the ground up? Ever think about that? Well, that's exactly what my next guest did. Her name is Arlancia Williams. She's a real estate leader, author, and entrepreneur. By the way, her new book entitled Brick by Brick, A Real Estate Love Story, she blends personal resilience with business discipline, showing how to turn life's challenges into a blueprint for entrepreneurship. She joins us now right here on the Live Zone. Arlancia, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
But of course, I got to tell you, I'm excited about this. Anytime I get a chance to help, let's say focus on me and work on me and become a better person, I'm all for it. And that's exactly what you're doing with regard to Brick by Brick. For folks that are hearing about this for the first time, what's the meaning behind it?
The meaning behind Brick by Brick, a real estate love story, it tells a story about how me and my husband met, our humble beginnings growing up, why we decided to become entrepreneurs and remaining in a beautiful relationship. We fell in love. We fell in love with our business and just we're growing and it's just exciting. And I'm just happy to share my story.
Yeah, and it's such a story that you have to share. You have turned adversity into entrepreneurship. It's so funny when those words just came out my mouth. You don't typically hear that. You don't typically see people saying that as well. But you face some real challenges with regard to your journey, including loss and, well, transition, reinvention. Do tell.
Well, I grew up in Capitol Heights. With a stepfather and my mom. They both worked regular jobs. So I saw firsthand the challenges of being limited, living check to check. That's first of all. And pretty much I really started my own business when I was 16. I started doing hair and trying to make my own money, and I enjoyed the freedom behind that because as a child, I was always taught to go and get a job and work for someone else, but there was never a plan in my family or any families around me that, hey, you can go and build your own legacy. Generational wealth was never a conversation in my household. So I didn't even know what that meant. You know, at the time that I was building it, I had to figure it out. It's just, just being surrounded by, hard, my family working hard, and no matter how hard they brought home the same check, and I always had to wait till payday for this and payday for that. So I wanted to do something different when I grew up. I had no idea that I would become so passionate about real estate, but it's definitely a quick way to success. And I love changing lives and being impactful and helping people achieve their dreams. Not just me, but I'm very passionate about helping others as well, because God did not put me here just for me. It's bigger than me, and that's my mission now, to help others.
Yeah, and you do it all so well, by the way. Congratulations on all your success. Well, one of the things that you said in the past is that entrepreneurship isn't glamorous, it's discipline. I absolutely love that. And so I'm curious, what does that look like behind the scenes for you?
My husband always say, people see the shine and they don't see the grind. That means working on vacations. That means you don't have business hours. Like you're not a slave to your business, but you have to definitely put in hard work. Discipline is waking up. Even though you don't have a 9 to 5, you have to wake up and get your day started. You have people dependent on you. You have people that's working for you. It takes decision-making, strategic planning, and it didn't happen overnight. We started our journey, I would say like 2007 is when we first really got started with building our empire with, one brick at a time.
Sure. And that brick has really turned into not only a house, but a mansion, I would add. And what do I mean by that? Well, you now lead teams, mentor agents, and coach aspiring business owners. That's a lot. You got a lot going on, Orlancia.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm with Keller Williams Commercial. I'm senior managing director, soon to be broker. I'm excited about that. I started out in residential real estate, helping others achieve their home ownership goals. And I did a few flips because I love taking the ugly, turning it into something shiny and brand new and making a beautiful home for someone. That's what we do. Also, we provide affordable luxury living for low income families. But on the other side of the fence, I decided that it was time for me to help business owners and new investors who wanted to do the same thing that I was doing and my husband was doing, and I could show them and give them the blueprint, because we're just ordinary people. There's nothing special about us. We just got started. And it's just as simple as that. You have to make your plan and get started. It's available. If you want it, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, that's key, especially as we celebrate all things National Entrepreneurship Month. We'll end with this, and that is your message to, yet again, folks they're still teetering on the fence. They're saying they want to take that leap. They want to take that step in order to perhaps start something of their own, but they're fearful to do so.
Well, I always say if you don't come from a rich family, then a rich family needs to come from you. You are responsible for your generational wealth. I'm responsible for my children and my grandchildren, and my children are responsible for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, and so on. So you just have to get started and get off the fence, because you're going to be stuck. Like you have to get started, and I would say let's just go for it. I have the blueprint.
Yeah, I love it. Just go for it. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. And perhaps you could do it a lot better if you pick up the book entitled Brick by Brick. It's authored by none other than Orlancia Williams, The Real Estate Love Story. I can't wait to get my hands on it, Orlancia.
Good. I can't wait for you to read it. And it's short. I made it short so you can read it in probably a day. I don't want you to put the book down.
Now you're speaking my language. Hey, if it has pictures, even better.
It has pictures. It has visuals.
Good stuff. Lancia, we truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
You got it. All right.
Bye-bye.
Producer Joey, let's take them to our viewers to what we are expecting sometime in the 1 o'clock hour. The United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, will hold a press conference in Houston to highlight the work of the Transportation Security Administration. Yes, I'm making reference to TSA agents during the government shutdown. This is courtesy right now of our sister station, Fox 26 in Houston. That should happen sometime in the 1 o'clock hour. And so when that does, we'll take you to H-Town, Houston, as they say, right here on the Live Zone. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. We are now 2 minutes away from the top of the hour. Yet again, when we get a report and or an update with regard to Kristi Noem speaking down in Houston, Texas, we'll take you there live. It all surrounds TSA agents. In the meantime, we are joined by Saida Abbas. And yes, it's official. The government shutdown now over.
Yes, it is. President Trump signed a bill to reopen the government, and the vibes are just different this morning. Good vibes all around. We're seeing more people traveling on the metro, going to work, and people are happy. And guess what? Smithsonian will be reopening as well, and that is going to happen tomorrow through the weekend. So a lot more people going to work. We're seeing smiles on people's faces. There will be 6 weeks worth of unopened emails to sift through and projects to get restarted. Back pay should be coming in a few days, and the bill also reinstates those who got layoff notices during the shutdown and halt any more layoffs during the agreement period. Agencies have started to rescind those layoff notices. As far as SNAP benefits, depending on the state, it could take a few days to a week to get the grocery money loaded to the recipient's debit cards. States that paid partial benefits might be slower as they work out the formula. So really this agreement funds the government until January 30th, and some government agencies got funded for a full year.
Yeah, it's good news for those that have been, quite honestly, sitting at home waiting to return to work. But I got to tell you, Saida, I am somewhat nervous, and I think a lot of Americans are too. Why? Because January 30th, we could yet again find ourselves back in this position.
Yeah, exactly. I think right now it's too soon to take a full sigh of relief. We'll see how things play out by that time. But again, it's nice that it's moving in a different direction than what we were thinking earlier, where first it was seeming like there's no end in sight. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, we finally reached that light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Saeed Abbas joining us right here on the Live Zone. Speaking of the government shutdown, that is no more. Yes, 43 days and counting. That's how long it took in order for, well, the government to reopen. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Roderica Applewhite, former White House communications official, right here on the Live Zone. Roderica, it's your first time on the show. Good to see you. Welcome.
It is. Thank you so much for having me.
But of course, so obviously we're discussing all things surrounding the reopening of the government. It took some 43 days in order for that to happen. A number of Democrats, well, let's just be honest, still crying foul, didn't get the health care subsidies that they were hoping for. Your take on all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great that the government is reopening. I'm glad. I mean, the only person that gets hurt during a shutdown is the American people. So it's really good to see that we were able to come together to make it happen. But to your point, healthcare subsidies are still very much in the lurch. There was a promise from Senate Republicans that there will be a vote on this in the next couple weeks. But at the end of the day, Speaker Johnson has said that even if the Senate manages to kick something over to the House, that he has no, incentive to really bring it across the finish line. So I think Americans should still be very concerned about that, especially as premiums will be going up on January 1st.
Yeah, Derek, a number of Americans have mixed reaction with regard to what happened, what took place, and what's happening now. Some are saying, well, what was all of this for if the Democrats were not able to really secure those health care subsidies? And so with that being said, was it all worth it?
I think any fight from the Democrats' perspective that tries to put healthcare back in the center of the conversation is one worth having. And that's something that you saw from leadership from Schumer and Jeffries throughout this 43-day shutdown. I think Democrats accomplished showing the White House and showing congressional Republicans how important healthcare remains to the American people. And I think Republicans should think twice about waging this kind of war again over something that is important to every single American. And so I think to that end, by making that point, I think it was really critical. And I think that is something that will be a factor as we kind of have these negotiations again in January.
Yeah, speaking of the word negotiations, a lot of Americans are hoping that some way, somehow, lawmakers are able to negotiate the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. It mentioned yesterday during the White House press briefing, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about an Epstein email that said Trump spent hours at Epstein's home with the female victim. Now, the press secretary would not address the email's substance or reports. White House officials pressured Republicans to stop an effort to release more Epstein emails. Are we going to ever see all of these files released, Roderica?
I think so. I mean, I think if you look at how we got here so far, I mean, Representative Robert Garcia, who's the ranking member of the Oversight Committee, which is why we're looking at these emails now, has led a quite heroic effort to do this in the minority party in the House. And I think that's something that should be absolutely recognized. He's using innovative, aggressive tactics in order to kind of keep Republicans' feet to the fire on this. And I think they're running into this issue with their own base, right? I mean, Trump ran on releasing these files. He paraded out all of these, influencers and content creators on the Republican side to detail part one of, these files, and obviously implying that there are other things to come. And since then, he's not only just tried to hope people won't remember that, he's actively trying to backpedal while it's quite clear through these emails that he's all over these files.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what plays out sometime in the near future as more and more Americans are now asking for the files to be released in totality. We'll end with this, and that is a lot of folks thinking about civil rights leader, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, apparently in a hospital. We got word of that earlier today. According to a statement from the Rainbow Push Coalition, the 84-year-old was admitted for observation as he continues to manage, a disorder he has lived with for the past decade. It is obviously that he is 84 years old and has done a number of things throughout his lifetime. A lot of folks really concerned about the Reverend Jesse Jackson. You as well?
Yes, of course. I mean, he is a scion of the civil rights movement, and my heart is with him and his families as they are coalescing around him at this time. I think the fact that we can even still have a conversation about Jesse Jackson being still with us is just it's an example of how far we've come, and but also how we haven't how it hasn't been that long since some of the things that he was fighting for were relevant and remain, a factor of the ongoing civil rights movement today. So I'm just really grateful for all of the work, the ways that he's paved for, you and I to be able to be on this TV right now, and to just continue to have these discussions in government about the importance of making sure that a government is representative of all its people.
Well said. Yet again, we've been speaking with Roderica Applewhite. Folks that want to find out more information about you, how would one go about to do so?
Sure. I am at Roderica on Instagram and X, so you can find me there.
Surely appreciate you. Yet again, she joins us right here on the Live Zone. We'll chat soon. Let's take you back to Houston, Texas, where any minute now we are awaiting the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Noem, to hold a press conference to highlight the work of Transportation Security Administration agents during the government shutdown. Yet again, this is taking place in Houston. It's due to start about 6 minutes ago, but you know the deal. They run a tad bit behind, and when that starts, we'll take you there live right here on the Live Zone. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone, you are taking a live look at the good folks over at TSA. We are awaiting the Secretary of Homeland Security, Noem, to approach that podium that you're taking a look at, and we'll pretty much say thank you. Thank you for all the work that they have done throughout the government shutdown. Yet again, when that happens, we'll take you there right here on the Live Zone. Meanwhile, Speaker Mike Johnson says a bill compelling the DOJ to release all of its Jeffrey Epstein case files will receive a vote on the House floor next week. With the discharge petition now reaching the 218 signatures needed, Johnson is required to put the bill on the floor very soon. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is political strategist Mr. Ian Chaikin, back here on the Live Zone. Ian, always good to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the show.
You as well, Guy. Hope you've been well.
I have. Not necessarily the case for the folks on Capitol Hill. The government was shut down for some 43 days. It's now reopened, and guess what? All eyes yet again back on Capitol Hill, because why? We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. In this case, as you just heard me make mention, we know that, well, with the discharge petition now reaching some 218 signatures needed, this is pretty much going to be required to be put on the bill. Your thoughts?
Look, the Senate ultimately still has to approve it, and I don't know if they will or if they won't. And I just want to put it out there. Other than the tragedy of the event that Epstein is accused of and that he committed, the disclosure has to happen, but it has to happen fully. I take objection with the Democratic Party dribble-drabble releases where they try to make Trump guilty by insinuation. The information on Epstein has to come out, and it has to come out completely unredacted. Let the victims be exposed. Let everybody that partook in those parties be exposed. Let all the transcripts that have been held to date be exposed, and let the chips where they fall. Ultimately, I think we have to remember that Donald Trump campaigned on disclosing all the Epstein files. However, there's other thought processes that go along with that disclosure, which are the victims, which are the innocent people, which are the minors, which are ongoing investigations and criminal proceedings, and which is also national security. So I think his intention is ultimately to disclose it, but the question is when and how. And we can't forget that Biden also had the opportunity to declassify information and didn't. But at the end of the day, what we have to come to terms with, and like this has been all over the news since yesterday, is the guilty by insinuation with mentioning Trump in emails, but nothing concrete to date has come out. There has been thousands and thousands of documents that have been declassified, and not a single thing has actually put Trump in any wrongdoing. So the Democratic Party has to stop the games. They have to stop distracting the American people, because if they're not distracting them on one side, they're dividing them on the other. Put forth all your arguments. Put down, lay it all out, and let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah, Ian, I want to give you a quick heads up. We got the 1 minute mark before the Secretary of Homeland Security approaches the podium, so we're going to have to exit in just a second. But before we do so, your final thoughts surrounding the government now reopening, and where do we go from here with yet again possibly facing another shutdown on January 30th?
Look, the risk of the shutdown is very possible. I'm relieved that this historic shutdown has come to an end. I believe the Democrats should have come to some kind of agreement with the Republican Party much sooner. I was heartbroken, to be quite honest with you, about the whole SNAP issue. I don't ever like to hear that American people who are in need of food aren't getting the benefits that they not only are entitled to, but they desperately need. I hope that having gone through this historic shutdown, we can try to come back together and avoid another shutdown and let the government get back to work and serving the American people.
Well said. Yet again, Mr. Ian Chaikin, a political strategist, joining us right here on the Live Zone. We truly appreciate you, my friend. Always good to see you.
Thank you. You as well.
We'll take you to Houston, Texas now, where Secretary of Homeland Security Noem has approached the podium. Let's take a live look in.
So today we are announcing that we are going to be handing out bonus checks of $10,000 to TSOs, to agents who work for TSA who served with exemplary service. And what that means is that we are going to not only continue their paychecks like they should have received all along, but also they're going to get a bonus check for stepping up, taking on extra shifts, for showing up each and every day, for serving the American people, and taking seriously the mission that the Department of Homeland Security takes seriously and that they take seriously every single day, and that's keeping the American people safe while they go and commute across the country and while they do their work and business and take care of their families. Today we're going to talk about a couple of individuals that did incredible things here at the George Bush Airport, that stepped up and took on extra challenges, extra hours, even though their families were dealing with some difficulties because of the government shutdown. They were examples to the rest of the individuals who worked with them and endured those hardships and continued to shine a light on really what is special about America. We have Rico, who is with us today, Mr. Walker, and I would like to focus on Rico a little bit today because he is not only a 20-year officer, but he's also a member of the National Deployment Force, which means that he takes on extra responsibilities at TSA. He not only fulfilled every one of his hours during this shutdown, but he also was more than willing to take on extra shifts to make sure that the public didn't have any kind of hardships, delays, or security concerns during this government shutdown that was facilitated by the Democrat Party. I also have Ashley next to me. Ashley has continued to serve at TSA. I believe she came to work here in January and showed up and has been an example of an excellent employee, but she also, during this time, was through the process of trying to buy a home when the government shut down. She was going to be moving and excited about undertaking that change in her life with her family, and that had to stop dramatically when her paycheck quit coming, because of what was happening with Chuck Schumer and the Democratic Party refusing to ensure that our security officials were getting their paychecks. I'm hopeful that she will be able to go and purchase a home soon, now that that has been restored, that this bonus check will be helpful to her and her family at pursuing the American dream of home ownership, and that also, as we talk about her, that her example of optimism and cheerfulness despite these kinds of hardships will be something that the rest of our TSA employees can look to, but also the American people, recognizing that even when these challenges come, that we can take them on and continue to be an encouragement to people around us. So today, though, we have many other TSA officers here that I'm going to be handing bonus checks to. Every single one of these individuals served with exemplary service, which means they were an example of not only taking seriously the security concerns and measures that TSA has to every single day in the Department of Homeland Security, but also they went above and beyond. They helped individuals, they served extra shifts, they helped with transportation of people getting back and forth to work, other challenges that families may have. They were all examples of what we need, and we will be continuing to not only recognize employees across the country, but we will be looking at every single TSA official that helped serve during this government shutdown and do what we can to recognize that and help them financially with a bonus check to get them and their family back on their feet. So with that, Rico, I want to present to you a check and say thank you from the American people. Appreciate it. Ashley, thank you. Yes. And is Leo here? All right, Leo. There. Thank you so much for all of you. Take care. Take care. Yes, sir. How long have you? Are you fatigued? How is it? Good. Thank you. Make sure that you're ready. Yes, Carlos? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this is Noem. Richard. Carla? Thank you. Thank you. You are Jason, correct? Good. Sonia? Thank you. I'm also incredibly grateful for everyone in this community this airport, the private companies that stepped up and helped support these families during the government shutdown when their paychecks stopped. And I just can't say enough about the partnerships that we've been able to build in light of this tragic situation when the Democrats shut down the government, that we still saw the best of America. We saw people come together and support each other, take care of each other, and go above and beyond to make sure that the mission of the Department of Homeland Security was fulfilled, that it was to keep the American people safe with honor and with integrity, and that we can continue to do that. I do want to recognize our Federal Security Director, Juan Sanchez, who is with us today, and thank him for his service and all of his hard work to take care of people and keep them safe each and every day. He also has 2 deputies, Jimmy and Jose, who help him every single day in this role and in this facility. And I also am extremely grateful for how they have partnered together with those private companies, individuals, and donations to make sure we were taking care of our frontline individuals, keeping our security measures in place. There's a lot of exciting things going on at TSA, a lot of good news, and we're grateful that we are able to not only support the families that are a part of our workforce, but that also we've been able to implement policy changes that make travel easier for those individuals who go through TSA. I think everybody is very happy about the security measures and technology that we've implemented, but then also allowed people to do different measures going through security lanes, such as keeping your shoes on, and still going through the technology that's necessary to make sure that we have safe transportation systems. We are implementing veterans lanes and military lanes so they can have a special screening process that's expedited for them, being grateful for their service to our country. And also, we're implementing family lanes across the country for families that may have small children, recognizing that that's a little bit of an extra challenge getting through the TSA security checkpoints, and we want to make sure we have extra help there and extra measures to help do it in a way that can be pleasant and enjoyable for that family as well. We're continuing to make sure that the investments at TSA facilitate the traveling public. They support the individuals that live in this country, but also the commerce of this country, to make sure that our businesses and our families that make the backbone of America can continue to be successful and to be safe while they do that, meeting the emerging threats we may face from around the world. We're grateful for this TSA employees behind us today. We're grateful for their example, what they mean to America, the fact that they show up even on a bad day. They continue to do their work, and they do it with embracing the mission of TSA, which is to serve the public and to keep people safe. Many of them took an oath to this job because they recognize the threats that America faces, and they wanted to serve in this position to help keep people safe. I think that's remarkable. We need more people like that in this world today, and I think they're all great Americans. So thank you for your service, and with that, I will ask Juan, did you want to say a few words? I'll let you open it up to you, and then we'll take some questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Couple of words. I really just want to thank my entire leadership team for getting us through this challenging time. For the many leaders across the country at TSA, I know it's been really tough, but thank you for bearing in there and hanging out and looking after our people. That's exactly what it's about. We couldn't have done it without these officers behind me and the entire leadership team. It was an entire group effort. We were supported by the airport community, our key stakeholders in Houston, and likely across the country. So thank you all, and my hat's off to every TSA employee. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. With that, we'll open it up to any questions you may have. Yes, sir. This is not everybody here that works at this airport that will be getting checks. We're going to continue to evaluate every single employee that helped during the shutdown and stepped up and went above and beyond. Sure. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily the parameters. We're going to look at every individual that did exceptional service during this period of time when there were so many hardships. So the mission of Transportation Security Agency is to facilitate safe travel for commerce and for individuals. They go through our country's airports. People who met that mission and went above and beyond are the folks that we're focused on. Yes.
Also wondering what was the total amount of people who were
Oh, there was tens of thousands of individuals that stepped up and continued to serve. Many of them took on extra shifts, much like Rico did, to fill in for individuals who couldn't necessarily be there every single day. But we're so proud of every single individual, whether they were a frontline agent at a security gate, whether they were administrative. There was many of them that made sure that things still continued to operate at our airports that needed to be done, and tens of thousands of individuals did extraordinary things during this shutdown that we're so grateful is over after 43 days. Yes. Yes, we're facilitating that as soon as possible. They've already missed pay periods and recognizing that that's a hardship on their families. So we did all of the administrative work that we needed to late last night to ensure that that payroll would be processed as soon as possible, and within the next coming days they will get that into their bank accounts.
And then just to follow up, compared to the last government shutdown, there were a lot less call-outs from TSA and government airports. What do you think the reason for that was?
I think they understand the mission of this administration and the role and the importance that they have within the government. The Department of Homeland Security specifically, we have been very dedicated to making sure that each of our employees feels appreciated, that they understand the responsibilities that they have, but also the mission for why our department was created. Our department was created in response to the terrorist attacks of 9/11. And TSA is unique because so many of the employees that I talk to that work in this agency specifically signed up because of a story tied to 9/11, because they understood the responsibility that we have to make sure that individuals getting on these airplanes are the right people, people that love this country, that want to just travel and not commit harm and harmful acts against individuals. And that's why they serve, and that's why they joined this agency. So we're grateful for that, but I think having those conversations and supporting their families is very important. I've told many people that when you are having a crisis at home, when you're dealing with something difficult at home, you can't pay your bills or your family's struggling with a health issue, it's very difficult to do your job with excellence. It's very difficult to do your job with every part of your being when something at home isn't going right. And so that's one of the things that we worked to do during this government shutdown that was pushed on us by the Democratic senators out in Washington, D.C., was to make sure we supported our employees, took care of their families so that they could show up every single day and make sure they kept America safe.
Leslie Dulles for Fox News KRIV here in Houston. Does DHS support classifying TSA agents as essential with guaranteed pay to prevent this situation from happening again?
You know, that's something that we're definitely having conversations still with the administration and the White House on. Absolutely, every single one of the agents in front of us, I believe, are essential. I think that these employees at the Department of Homeland Security are essential because they are a national security agency. The task of the Department of Homeland Security is to ensure the safety of every person who's in this country, would leave or come into this country. We have authorities and jurisdictions over every single product or good that is in this country or leaves this country and comes in. And then also jurisdiction over the internet, what's said or communicated or sold. So it's broad authorities, and the people that make sure that we do our jobs every single day are essential to making sure that our security is guaranteed.
Last question. Basically, a donation. Is there any specific amount of money to be designated to pay the workers in general? Unions?
You know, we have, because of reevaluating and being efficient and being diligent with taxpayer dollars, have $2,025 that have been left over from some of the savings that we've been able to negotiate on different contracts and different spending requirements that when this administration came in. We will be utilizing that to make sure these bonuses are paid. But no, we're going to be recognizing employees who served with exemplary service. They will be getting $10,000 checks, each of them, and we will continue to recognize all of them that we believe are extremely deserving serving during such a difficult time as this. Anything else? Okay, thank you. I appreciate you being here, and God bless you.
There you have it. United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, discussing all things surrounding the exceptional work a number of TSA agents will actually carried out during the government shutdown. As a result, they were rewarded with a $10,000 bonus, plus their back pay salary. How cool is that? Yet again, recognizing those that continue to show up and show out during that troubling time, 43 days of the government shutdown. One of the many things we'll continue to follow for you right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Speaking of following things, producer Joey now with some breaking news.
Yes, I just got this text from D.C. City Council member Christina Henderson's office. The shutdown ending bill that just passed the House also fixed D.C.'s budget problems. Yes, remember that $1 billion budget shortfall from March? How we got here is Congress has control over D.C.'s spending. When they passed the last 6-month spending bill, they accidentally worded it to treat D.C. like a federal department. It forced it to stay on last year's budget and spend less of its own money. Speaker Johnson and city officials agreed that it was a mistake. It took almost 9 months, but this new CR has finally fixed it. That is now confirmed.
Yeah, this is major news yet again. This was a big deal. Affected so many folks living right here in the nation's capital. So now know that it has now been added to the budget, if you will. That's going to put a lot of smiles on a lot of folks' faces. Producer Joey with the latest. We truly appreciate you. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone, it is now 1:34. Not only is it 1:34, it's November. Not only is it November, we're just 2 weeks out away from Turkey Day. And what does that mean? Yes, the holidays are here, which means family food. And if you happen to be a parent with young kids, well, you already guessed it. It means no sleep. Not if Chrissy Lawler can help it. Who is she, you ask? Well, she's a licensed marriage and family therapist, sleep consultant, and founder of the Peaceful Sleeper. Oh, by the way, did I mention that she has over 450,000 Instagram followers? She's helped over 400,000 families worldwide who have turned to her for real talk sleep tips that actually work. She joins us right now on the Live Zone. Good to see you, Chrissy. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, but of course, I got to tell you, it's funny. I booked you for this time. My very good friend and fellow producer Chris, he's sitting right over there. He just sat down. He's a dad-to-be. And so I'm pretty sure he's listening from ear to ear about what you're about to say. And so with that being said, we've approached the holiday season. I remember being a small kid, and I remember probably not being on my best behavior, and as a result, driving my parents crazy. But you're here to say, you know what? I have a solution for you. Oh, do tell.
Yes, I think Travel with kids, first and foremost, you just have to have realistic expectations. It is half fun and half really, really stressful, and that's actually okay. It's still worth it. So just know that sleep is not going to be perfect when you're on vacation, especially if you have a baby or toddler. Plan on just doing your best, and you will be resilient. You will bounce back. Get back on track when you get back home.
Oh, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm so glad you touched on that, because one of the things that so many parents focus on, routine. We got to stick to that routine. But you're saying perhaps that's not the best thing to do.
So it depends how old your baby is. Younger babies are very sensitive to overtiredness, and that can push them into this wired and tired state. But I don't want parents to feel restricted when they go on a trip. So if possible, try to preserve bedtime, try to preserve one nap a day, and then depending on how resilient your baby or toddler is to sleep deprivation, you might be able to have a little bit of wiggle room.
All right. Should I be ashamed that when you said one nap a day, I thought you were making reference to me? Because, boy, I could take one.
You know what? You deserve one nap a day, too. It's vacation.
Good stuff. So, Chrissy, correct me if I'm wrong, but what a parent should also focus on is really recreating comfort, meaning creating that environment that makes their child feel oh so comfortable.
Yes. So there's two different categories. One is, how do we navigate the travel day itself? So your best bet there is a car seat cover, pacifier, white noise machine, and just your own ability to go with the flow and recognize it's not going to be perfect. When you get to your destination, a quiet, dark, private space. And again, your white noise machine. And if you have a little baby, I love to bring your sheets from home.
Wow.
That gives them that same familiarity so that they can sleep a little bit better.
Gosh, I never thought about that. That's such a great tip. And it's so easy to do. I mean, it's just a matter of packing up the sheets with you. A lot of folks don't know, but babies have internal clocks. And with that being said, well, I'm pretty sure that when mom and dad decide to travel, that internal clock, you're tinkering with it. And so as a result, a parent should do certain things in order to, stay one step ahead.
Yes. I'm so glad you asked about this because it's really, really important. So it also depends where you're traveling. In general, I advise if you are traveling east, keep your same schedule that you have at home. Meaning if you are in California and baby usually has a 7 o'clock bedtime and you go to New York, just do a 10 p.m. bedtime there, especially if your trip isn't very long. Just adjust to the later schedule and then you won't have to change anything about timing when you get back home. Right. However, if you are maybe going to Hawaii, you don't want a 4 p.m. bedtime and a 4 a.m. wake up time. So if you are traveling west, you're going to do a nap when you get to your destination. You might have to wake them up, have a good awake window before bed, and then move to your new time zone. And keep in mind, sunshine is your friend. Sunshine hitting our eyeballs is how our circadian rhythm gets oriented. Your travel day is going to make everything wonky. So that actually gives you the ability to start with a blank slate. So when you get up in the morning and drink your coffee, head outside, go for morning walks, go for late afternoon and evening walks, get your baby or child as much direct sunlight as possible so that they can orient to the new time.
Chrissy, all great tips, but let's just be real. At some point, for some parent watching right now, it's all going to go off the rails. It's all going to fall apart. And so when that happens, what should one do?
Honestly, just roll with it. I always compare it to, if I'm training for a marathon and then I go on vacation, I'm probably eating all the treats and I'm not exercising. Do you get out of shape after a week of being on vacation? Absolutely not. So the same thing applies with our children and their sleep. We're just going to roll with it. Don't let obsession about sleep ruin your fun on your trip. So if you have to do all the bad habits, that's fine. Just get back on track as soon as you get home and they will bounce back.
Absolutely love it. Hold on for me 1 second real quick. Hey, Chris, did you get all of that?
I got all of that.
Producer Chris, actually, he's... Come on in, producer Chris. This is the dad to be here. You could use my mic.
So not necessarily related directly to travel, but I've heard different things about when it comes to like those snoo machines, things that like gently agitate the baby. But then when you're done with it, then they need that all the time. Is that true?
No, you cannot spoil a newborn. So the objective in the newborn stage is to do whatever they need to feel calm, be regulated, get good sleep. And then after that 4 or 5 month mark, we can really focus on independent sleep skills. But in the beginning, we're just trying to teach them how to sleep well and be calm with support.
Okay, I mean that's one of the major questions right there. I know. Like I said, I've been taking notes for that first trip.
Yep.
By the way,
You'll
she's
do
helped
great.
yet again over 400,000 families.
Yeah,
She's the real deal.
Taking notes. Thank you so much, Guy. Appreciate it.
That's what you call live TV, Chrissy. Yet again, Chrissy Lawler, licensed marriage and family therapist, sleep consultant, and founder of the Peaceful Sleeper. I truly appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, on the flip side of that break, look who's back. Fox 5's Vernon Miles joins us next, right here on the Live Zone. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. It's so funny. I'm so excited to have this guy sitting right next to me because he hasn't sat next to me for quite some time. Mr. Vernon Miles, officially now with Fox 5.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm right over there in the writer's pit doing all the good stuff. So it's been a lot of fun, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, the folks have been asking for you, and so here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. All right, you are working you and the crew over there are working on several stories. Do tell.
Yeah, so we've got one coming up. It's an update on a fatal shooting on U Street. This was back in September. And a lot of people in the community were kind of asking, like, it would take a while for this investigation to go through, but they have made an arrest. A 44-year-old man from D.C. has been arrested for this, so we'll have more details about that coming up in the next hour. We were also working on a new report showing homelessness in Montgomery County is on the increase. This is because they shut down a lot of the camps in D.C., so a lot of those people have been moving up into Montgomery County and really overloading some of the shelters there. And the last big thing we're working on is we've got a new ACLU report.
Yeah.
And that is recommending subsidized childcare. I can't tell you enough. As another dad-to-be coming up, I can tell you childcare is expensive. And they're saying especially around the D.C. area. And so if we want to prevent crime later on, if we want to really do good for our kids, the best thing that D.C. can be doing is subsidizing that childcare for kids.
Yeah, all of which happen to be very important topics and subjects that we are covering, stories, I should say, that we're covering for you. Producer Jory, grab your mic. Just real quick, Vernon made mention of the arrest for the September fatal shooting on U Street. I can tell you for quite some time it's been a big issue, and I'm making reference to the amount of violence that we've seen on U Street. And so, high five going out to the good guys, as we like to call it, the men and women in blue, or as they used to say back in the day, that are really doing their job and doing it in an amazing way. For the latest, and that's why I wanted to bring you in, Joey, I want to make sure we bring up our website. Please make sure you log onto our website so you can get the latest information on that, and that is fox5dc.com. With regard to the homelessness story in Montgomery County, I remain somewhat baffled that this is still a conversation and that we are still dealing with this in this day and age. And so, yet again, to know that folks are really taking the bull by the horns to address this is somewhat encouraging. To your point, Vernon, that ACLU new report supporting a child tax credit, you're a dad to be.
Yep. January 31st, coming up.
Well, he's not the only one smiling. I got to tell you, a lot of folks are smiling as a result of that child tax credit and subsidized child care, all of which, yet again, you could find out more information on our website at fox5dc.com. You're a busy guy. I got to let you go. They're waving for you over there. They're like, hey, we need him back there. So you can get a chance to check out Vernon and all of his stories throughout the day right here on Fox 5. We appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, see, we got him back, ladies and gentlemen. See, and now he's gone. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. It is now 1:48, 12 minutes before the top of the hour. Don't forget to check out The Take coming up very shortly. You're taking a live look now at a Senate committee hearing on aging. Of course, it all surrounds the Palisades fire hearing. This is a big deal, and folks have been talking about this for quite some time. We're going to take you here. Yet again, also want to bring you up to speed that we are awaiting a White House presser, if you will, where President Trump is expected to sign an executive order that due to get underway beginning at 2 o'clock. We will keep a close eye on that. But in the meantime, we'll take you back to the Senate committee hearing on aging. Let's take a live look in.
This is the most encouraged I've felt at getting to the bottom of what's going on since the president was here. I've heard much since then. It occurs to me that a lot of the questions you're asking, there's a ton of discovery done already in the lawsuits that have been filed. I'm a person that reads those things. And I know your counsel is here with me. I would just suggest use that as a resource. Any one of us, including there's a lot of pain in this room. Seeing it, I'm so glad I came to hear it, share it, and I meet across 2 homes, and just look at some of the legal filings. All the questions you're asking, they have been researched in these filings and answered definitively already. Everybody that's here wants chime in and doing a great job in doing it, and I also want to thank all the folks that shared their personal stories. But that's my comment. I want to look at that.
David, did you want to add something?
Well, I would say three things quickly. The question of forward deployment is a really critical one, but the starting point for the analysis is that hotspot that went where the arson allegedly began, and that it became a slumber fire. We know this because the U.S. Attorney, when he announced the indictment, explained in great detail what ATF found. So they have all the answers with respect to the amount of time LAFD sat on that hotspot when they left. Obviously, hindsight being what it is, one could say persuasively that they should have been there until the red flag warnings were dropped. The second point goes to Senator Johnson's comment about available sources of water, and the LAFD's October 8th Palisades Fire After Action report lists as one of several secondary challenges the loss of water. And I would say it was a polite way of saying there was a catastrophic failure of the static and water supply systems. At least is a concession that loss of water occurred as of around 2000 hours. But then the report seeks to shift responsibility on the decreased water volume to homeowners who continue to operate automatic sprinklers in hopes of saving their properties. I don't remember, maybe you know, Tom, but I think there was upwards of 22 million gallons of water that should have been in that drained reservoir. So anyone who's operating their pathetic little garden
That's the
hose,
one at the top.
cannot be appropriately blamed for the loss of the water pressure. The third point is the one that Senator Johnson raised about siphoning water from swimming pools. The average swimming pool holds anywhere from 12 to 15,000 gallons of water. That's quite a bit larger than the 500 that the trucks carry. Imagine if the city had been prepared to deploy simple fire siphoning engines. I had one in my former home. It was essentially a two-stroke Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engine and some fire hose. I had a fire in 2009, and it saved my house. And again, I think that these are relatively inexpensive things to insist upon if someone is going to maintain a pool. But in the meantime, the fire department should have been loaded for bear with these kinds of water siphoning pumps so that they could get into those communities and use them. My pool was left open and untouched.
Can you talk about seniors and what the plan was, and was there a plan to help seniors before? Because I guess what you've said, Jessica, you guys have fires, right? So you would think that if you guys have fires, there was a plan to help our seniors.
I don't think there's a direct plan.
I believe I was naive. I learned a lot since the fire. I believe that there was a plan of evacuation. I thought there were basic standards for evacuation. I thought that there would be police going to every street and every home, and that there would be a coordination of those events. That wasn't the case, and that is why Tracy Park's staff, our councilwoman's staff of 12, did everything they could that day to coordinate. They became these de facto coordinators, completely untrained, trying to assist residents like me who knew the danger, who knew the issues and the problems, and who were still on site and were able to tell them. I had to explain to Jacob the situation at Sunset and Palisades Drive where people couldn't get out. There was nobody there to explain it to them, and the firefighters were too busy trying to put out fires around the vehicles and the young children and pets escaping cars to report back to tell them what was actually happening. So no, there wasn't a plan in place. I wasn't aware, and there still isn't today. If a fire occurred right now, we're in the safest building in this community, so that's a good thing. but this community is still incredibly unsafe to live in, and there is no plan. They didn't have people guiding traffic. This is why cars started piling up in all places. The reason why I was able to escape and out of the community, which is 1 mile away, I strategically purchased my property where I did because I knew the points of ingress and egress, and I said I will never live north of Sunset. I believe that made me safe. I had the direct route out of the community. I was less than a block away from Temescal Canyon Boulevard. It was built to be a highway. It has 6 lanes, and I had to go into the bike lane that they built and the parking spots in order to get out. So, and that took 45 minutes, and that was at around 1:15 p.m. So there was no evacuation plan. There was no plan for seniors, none whatsoever.
Right. I just want to say, when I was, I won the, back in the mid 2015, 2018, we've had several community meetings. Peter, you know about this, on fire safety at the Calvary Church. It seems to, and that is when it seems to me that the fire department, when the problem is that because of
And yet again, you have been watching all things surrounding the Senate Aging Committee as they discuss the Palisades fire. We'll continue to monitor that throughout the afternoon right here on Fox 5. Got about a minute left in show. Producer Joey joining us with our last bumper of the day.
Okay, so yesterday we made reference to a legend of the area American University graduate Jax Films when his fajitas are sizzling, and this made it up to Jax Films' fan subreddit. Go away, Bug. Look at that, 370 likes. Thank you,
Wow.
Jax Films community, for appreciating that as much as I did.
I'm still stuck on that whole fajita thing, which, by the way, I think what the argument was whether or not it will continue to cook your food when it's served. Is that what it happened to
Yeah, and it doesn't, and it ruined our childhoods, learning that.
Folks, you learn something new every day, and right here on the Live Zone, that's what you learn. And so much more, I guarantee you. Producer Joey doing a great job, as he always does, right here. Folks, we thank you so much for watching. By the way, we do this each and every Monday through Friday, 12 to 2. Tell a friend, bring a friend. We'll do it again. I want to say thanks to all of our guests today. It was a busy day, and we truly appreciate you sticking it out with us. Yet again, congratulations to all of those who have now returned to work or will return sometime in the near future, as the government is now officially reopened. Don't forget, White House briefing coming up at about 2 o'clock. In the meantime, The Take coming up next, right here on Fox 5.